This video is completely random and probably will not improve your life in any way, but it's something I wanted to talk about, and I just got reminded of this today. But it's something that's like kind of really interesting to me, just for some reason. And that is the amount of language that has been derived and like the amount of common terms that has been derived from baseball. I think due to the fact that the sport has been around for such a long time. But it's just interesting to me how long the list of like idioms and like figures of speech that come from baseball actually is. And the thing that reminded me of this wasn't even like really a thing that people commonly use, but it's more just a random different term that I saw for baseball from a video that I saw on Twitter. So I'm going to show the video first. Just like say, this is what reminded me of this long, extensive list of random phrases that come from the sport. So the original word that I kind of want to talk about, or the original phrase, I guess, is janitor throw. I don't know why or where the phrase janitor throw came from. I've literally only seen it ever used in baseball, but it kind of just reminded me of the long, extensive list of just random words that baseball players have to use and that have kind of been commonly used in the sport. And for those who don't know what a janitor throw, it is a very fun looking throw. So here you go. Let's watch this beautiful janitor throw together.
Into left field, and it's going to get in front of Colby Thomas. Here comes the throw home. The tag made. Colby Thomas.
So unfortunately, this dumbass got in the way of the camera because the Oakland Athletics are owned by a cheap motherfucker who wants to move them to Las Vegas, so they're playing in a minor league baseball stadium, so they have terrible camera angles. But you get the idea of what a janitor throw is. It's really when you just throw and you do a full somersault as you throw it. You lay the fuck out. Like, look at this form we got on the janitor throw. This is like a perfect janitor throw that you'll see in your life. Gets you out and also lays out perfectly, full extension on the throw. Get as much momentum behind it as humanly possible. And there you go. You have what is known as the janitor throw. But we move on to the list of actual words that come from baseball. And like you can see how long this Wikipedia page is. We got many different letters, many different phrases, and it's just crazy how much of the words that we use today are from baseball due to it just being like the longest running sport I think in America, or one of the longest running sports in America. And the fun fact about this is that it's excluding the extended metaphor referring to sex and including illustrative examples for each entry. We're not even at the entire thing, and we're also missing on the entire glossary of baseball terms, but these are like more common phrases. You know, like even the word ballpark, I guess, has only come from baseball. You know, they don't have any other ballparks before it, but this is the sport that made it more popular. Like, you know, put it in the ballpark, give me a ballpark figure, like right there. Like the big leagues, you know, you're in the big leagues, kid. You're a big league man. You're in the big leagues now. From this, like I feel like I'm looking at just a bunch of different phrases and words that I use commonly. Kind of as a joke, but also just like in my common vernacular that have come from this sport. Even though I did play it, like I didn't even know that this all this stuff came from it. Like cover one's bases, I guess came from baseball. You know, I guess from all the bases in the sport. I thought it was like covering one's home or house or safety spot, but I guess not. It's from fucking baseball. Doubleheader, I guess, came from baseball. That makes sense. You know, I feel like that's like baseball is the only sport that you really can have doubleheaders in, and it's only like one of the big four American sports that has doubleheaders because they're the only sport that really gets their games canceled. Down to the last out, that makes sense. Ducks on the pond's a fun one. I literally do not know at all, other than I guess in business when you would use it, but it's kind of a fun little phrase that comes from baseball. Look at that. And we're also learning together as I go down this list of fun different phrases that we can use. Grand Slam came from it. I don't even know when the first time Grand Slam was ever used, but this, I guess, baseball thing, wonderful. I guess grandstanding is another one too, which is just showboating. Maybe that also came from baseball. If showboating came from baseball, this entire English language is held up specifically by this one sport. Home run from baseball, not surprising. Inside baseball from baseball. Who could have possibly have thought? In and over tills over is from Yogi Berra, which Yogi Berra in himself probably had a bunch of different like good quotes and good little things that he says. Like if we even go deeper in the rabbit hole and pull up the Yogi-isms of just like a random stuff that he says, it's deja vu all over again. You can observe a lot by watching. The future ain't what it used to be. 90% of the game is half mental. And also sometimes baseball is 90% mental, the other half is physical. I really didn't say everything I said. So even like we have one player who has like a list of like 10 or 12 different phrases that he's said. Now these aren't common phrases or common things that people use, But you can see the intellectual brain tank that we got going on in the sport of baseball. What else? Even like left field, like coming out of left field, I guess is a baseball thing. Like what is happening? How have we gotten this deeply intertwined with a sport? I guess it is called America's pastime, but it's also America's dictionary because these are where we all use the words. Major League, I think it's the same thing as Big League. Mendoza line, I don't think I've ever heard of it other than being described in baseball, and it's like a random statistic thing that is batting under 200, but came from here. Murderers Row, I don't know if I've heard anyone else say it other than baseball to refer to this really fucking old Yankees team. Ofer kind of comes from here, which is interesting. I guess, 0 for 3. You call someone Ofer. In a pickle, I guess, came from this. I don't know where pickle came from. I don't know how pickle originated from baseball. I don't know why people started calling it this. I guess I gotta look more deeper into this too, as like I did look into yogiisms. But even being in a pickle, I guess, came from baseball. Rain check came from baseball. I later ticket for admission. Everything, rally cap, and even though I guess some of this list is like kind of generous with relief pitcher, rhubarb came from this sport, and like wheelhouse came in too, like a power zone. It's right in your wheelhouse. This came from this here too. I'll probably give us like a bunch of quotes too of like recently used things in like the last 15 years, but like a bunch of it for some reason is just like political stuff, which I don't know why this is why we're here. I guess there's a really big fan of political science and baseball that made this entire list because it's everywhere. But like I think you get the point. I won't keep on going. But you get the point of what I mean when so much of the language that we use for some reason comes from baseball. Like I'm looking at the word whiff right now, which came from baseball, I guess. Whiffing or missing, that's something too. And I thought it was just really interesting. It kind of spurred my brain when I saw this janitor throw thing of just like how much random bullshit words and phrases that come from the sport are actually like commonly used. I think some of the things on the list were a bit of a stretch, maybe not actually what people commonly use, but it's just you've probably said at least like 5 of these in your entire lifetime. If you, I guess, speak English, because if you don't, then like I don't know how you're hearing me say this, but good job. If you want to get intertwined with the English vernacular, just like read these, and then there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. You're the most English-speaking American known to mankind ever to exist. But once again, you really didn't gain anything from this, did you? You just learned that a bunch of words come from baseball. But that's all I wanted to talk about today. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.